Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I'm sitting over here in the park, just chilling for the moment. Really not sure if I'm supposed to be in here right now, but I know during the summer they usually kick everybody out around 9:30. It's like 10:50 now. So nobody in here. I see only one car sitting over here. But let me go over here. Let's park for a second, chill. But what you got here is NJ's tallest, the Goldman Sachs. It's NJ's tallest for the moment. Probably in about, 2 years, another building is going to take its place. I don't know if you can see the crane up here, but there's a crane right up here. Let me back it up a little bit. See, there's a crane right there. That building, you can't see the building from here, but when it's done, it's going to be the tallest. And then over here, we got Western Hemisphere's tallest, Freedom Tower. Freedom. Get it? So the question is, should Uber drivers be able to pick and choose what trips they want to accept? Should they be able to see the destination before they accept a fare? I picked up this passenger one day, this guy, and he asked me, he said, why can't you guys see where you're going before you accept a fare? And I told him, well, from what I hear, Uber is afraid if we can see where we're going, a lot of drivers, they'll turn down trips. You know, if they see it's a short trip, they might say, oh, I don't want a trip. I don't want a short trip. You know, I only want a long one. And they keep turning them down. But then a guy might say, oh, I don't want a long trip. You know, I only want a short one. I don't feel like driving that long. From what I hear, that's what they don't want. That's what they're afraid of. So he says to me, well, you guys are independent, right? You're independent contractors from what I understand, right? I said, yeah, that's true. So he was like, well, I think you guys should be able to pick and choose. He said, I think you should see where you're going before you accept the fare, because being that you're independent, I think you should have that right. And I said, well, you know, the Uber in me says, well, you know, Uber wants to provide good service to the customers. And I feel like, you know, if you don't feel like driving a certain amount of distance, like me personally, I always ask myself, like if I'm in Newark, for example, I will ask myself, do I feel like driving to Trenton? If the answer is no, I go home. You know, this is what I told him. And he says to me, well, being that you're an independent contractor, I feel like you guys should be able to see where the fare is going first and then turn it down. He said, I had a guy one day, he came, he picked me up. I get in the car and he saw that I was going a good amount of distance. He says to me, sir, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of tired. I don't feel like driving that far. You know, so I then had to get out the car. I had to cancel the fare and I had to get another Uber. Now, had he known where I was going, he could have canceled it before he came all the way to my house, and I get in the car and he tells me he don't feel like going that far. I said, that was a waste of my time. And you know what? I couldn't disagree with him. Really. I couldn't disagree with him. You know, I told him, I said, listen, man, you got a point. You know, that is true. So we are independent contractors, and you know what, you just made a good point there. You know, so my thing is, after hearing what he had to say, I feel like he's right. I feel like being an independent driver, we should be able to see where the passenger is going. Now, me personally, I truly don't care, you know, because I like the adrenaline of, not knowing where they're going, especially when it shows that it's a long trip, 45 minutes plus. I'm excited. I be wondering, oh, are they going to New York somewhere? Are they going to Philly? You know, it's that adrenaline, you know, and I love it. But I feel like maybe we should be able to see where we're going, because we should have that right. We should have that freedom if we are truly independent contractors. Now, being that we can't do that, are we really independent contractors? You know, we're really manipulated to do what Uber wants us to do. If you keep turning down trips, the bottom line is you're going to be shut out for a couple of hours. You know what I mean? If you keep turning down trips, Uber, you know, they kick you offline. They feel like, well, if you're going to keep turning down trips, you shouldn't be online. But truth of the matter is, maybe we should be able to see where you're going first. And if we don't want it, we should be able to go next, you know, and let it go to the next driver. I understand that Uber wants to provide good service and gets to the passenger as quick as possible. But if they would let the passengers know that we are independent drivers, let them know it may take longer sometime because the passenger might not want your trip. They might not want your fare. That's just the way it is. Make them aware that that's how it is, so they can be prepared and know that, okay, well, when a driver sees this trip, he may not accept it and it may go to the next driver. And it still happens sometimes. But I don't believe that somebody that's out there trying to make money, I don't believe they're going to keep turning down trips. I really don't believe that. You know, I don't think it's going to be really no different than it is now if Uber just say, you know what, the heck with it. You know, just accept what you want to accept. We're going to let you see where they're going. If you don't want it, feel free to turn it down, and then just go to the next driver. I don't think a lot of drivers are going to be turning down trips. Now, it may happen more often, but you know, I think for the most part, it won't be that much different, because when we're out there, the goal is we're trying to make money. We're out there to make money. That's the name of the game. So after hearing what he had to say, you know, he had a point. We should be able to pick and choose. We should be able to see where you're going. Like me personally, like I said, I don't care. I don't care about seeing where you're going, but as a true independent driver, I think we should be able to see that. And we should be able to turn it down if we don't want to. Like an owner operator of a truck, somebody that got his own truck and pulls for different companies, they don't have to accept a load if they don't want to. You know, some people say, hey, I don't take loads going to New York. I heard people say that. I got cousins that drive. You know, I had a cousin that, you know, that was an independent driver one time. He had, you know, he was an owner operator. And he would say, no, I'm not driving to New York, because by the time you pay the tolls and, you know, the maintenance of your truck, you know, there's a lot of money you're spending on these tolls. Going to New York is expensive. But then I guess it depends on how much the load is paying, you know, but I'm not a truck driver, so I really can't get into that. But that's what he said. But you know, they don't have to accept every load that they're offered. So we shouldn't have to accept every fare that we're offered. We should be able to say, you know what? I don't want it. It's a long trip. I don't feel like driving that far. Next. But the thing is, when you get tired, you need to go home. You need to go home if you're too tired to drive. But as a driver, I can tell when I'm getting to that point where, you know what, it's about time for me to go home. But me personally, if I can't drive more than 30 minutes, if I feel like I'm to that point where I can't drive 30 minutes, I go home. I'm done, because I don't want to have to tell a passenger, you know what, I don't feel like driving that far. That's just how I am. That's just me. But I don't knock people who don't want to take a trip because it may be too far or too short. I wouldn't knock them. At first, I was like, no, you shouldn't be driving if you're going to turn down trips like that. But now, you know, this guy had a point, man. I had a couple of passengers tell me that. This lady, I was in Tinton Falls, and this lady had to go to the airport. And the guy got there. He seen he had to go to the airport. he seen she was going to the airport, and he told her, I don't feel like going that far. The lady said, she told him, are you serious? I got to go to the airport. And I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad I got the fare, but I'm sorry you had to get in his car and then get out. But I'm glad I got the fare. But again, if he saw where she was going before he got there, he could have just not accepted the trip, and it would have went directly to somebody else. But these are just my opinions, These are my opinions. I'm pretty sure there's drivers who may not agree with this, but I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. I think, it's just Uber. I'm pretty sure Uber, they wouldn't want us to do that. And Uber manipulates how we do things. Because bottom line is, if we turn down trips, we keep turning down trips, we get kicked off line. May even get penalized for 24 hours, something like that. 24 hours maybe, because they feel like you shouldn't be driving, because they want us to accept everything. If it's up to them, they want us to accept everything. But being truly independent means you should be able to accept what you want. But again, that's only my opinion. Anybody think otherwise, feel free to comment below, and I'll be talking to you guys later. And please stay posted on my videos. Please keep watching, because you need to know if I got deactivated or not. And I will keep you guys posted. So stay tuned. And until next time, everyone, as always, let's get it.